Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, the Honorable Chief of Staff, senior officials of the Presidency, newly sworn-in Ministers of State, distinguished invited guests, families and friends, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media. Exactly a month today, I took the oath to become the 6th President under the 4th Republic and the 12th head of state since independence. I did so with the hopes and aspirations of millions of my fellow citizens weighing heavily on my shoulders. The Ghanaian people, in a resounding electoral mandate, have returned me to the high office of President with one charge, and that is to reset our dear nation while offering honest governance that yields tangible benefits for them. The urgency to reset our dear country is the reason why we have worked round the clock to constitute our government in record time so we can get things done quickly and efficiently. In this period, since I was sworn in, we've constituted a working presidential staff for both the Office of the President and the Office of the Vice President. We've set in motion the processes for constitutional review by establishing a Constitution Review Committee. We've initiated work on the National Economic Dialogue with a planning committee already hard at work. We've announced the promised National Education Review Dialogue Committee. We began the National Tripartite Committee negotiations with a view to setting the base pay and minimum wage. We've announced the 2025 Hajj fare, which is 13,000 Ghana cedis cheaper than what it was in the last year, among others. We've gathered here again today to witness the induction into office of 17 ministers who have gone through vetting and have been approved by Parliament. They represent the final installment of substantive ministers and brings to 42 the total number of substantive ministers who have been sworn in. Earlier this week, I nominated in consultation with the relevant sector ministers 13 deputy ministers pending parliamentary approval. It is my expectation that Parliament will expedite vetting of the deputy ministerial nominees to complete the process and enable them to take office in support of their ministers. In the coming days, I'll be nominating the last remaining 4 deputy ministers to bring the total number of ministers to 60, as I promised the people of Ghana. Indeed, we have proven that it is possible to have a lean and efficient government, but that is the easiest part of the job. An efficient government will not make itself. It requires strategy, creativity, innovation, intentionality, and hard work. And I therefore expect nothing but the very best output from all of you. To the 8 of you who will be serving as regional ministers, remember that the people in your regions look up to you to deliver on the promises made during the last campaign, in which you played active roles. How you conduct yourselves will either reflect positively or negatively on this government, and I expect that you will dig deep into your reserves to meet the expectations of our people. In addition, I've just sworn in 9 sector ministers whose performance will be key to the success of this government and the rapid development of our country. The Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando goes to the Ministry of Health. It will be your duty to supervise a health sector that is plagued by numerous complex challenges with regards to personnel and health facilities, but also in dealing with any possible pandemics like COVID-19, which can disrupt our very existence if they break out again. You therefore have the task of proofing all Ghanaians against effects of such disease and ensuring that our health system is robust and resilient to withstand such crisis. As Foreign Minister, Honorable Okucheto Ablakwa You will have to bring the same dynamism and commendable work ethic for which you are known to navigating the complex maze of international diplomacy in a fast-shifting geopolitical environment. I have every intention of taking you up on your word regarding economic diplomacy, which will be crucial to repairing our reputation as a nation following the disastrous economic crisis that led to a loss of confidence in our economy by the international investment community. With climate change becoming an ever-pressing issue, I look forward that you, Honorable Alhaji Baba Isifu Seidu, will bring your wealth of experience and exposure to bear on our efforts as a country to contribute to the global efforts to combat it. I've made drastic changes to government information dissemination machinery, and I've picked you, Honorable Felix Kwakye Ofosu, to lead the effort as Minister of State for Government Communications to modernize and sharpen how this government interacts and interfaces with the Ghanaian people. Honorable Rashid Hassan Pelko, you come into office at a time when we have inherited the worst unemployment situation in our country's history, with millions of Ghanaian youth despairing over the frustration of not being able to find a job. It will be your mandate to work with stakeholders to turn this situation around and also foster a harmonious labor-government relationship. To Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed as Minister of Environment, Science and Technology, you will have the unenviable task of safeguarding Ghana's environment, which has been in great peril from the activities of galamsey and other environmental terrorism. You also have the responsibility of promoting Ghanaian technology and making it competitive. Ghana's communication sector has seen incremental growth over the last few decades, and you, Honorable Samuel Nate Jata George, the Honorable Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, you'll be expected not only to continue this growth trajectory, but to create policies that expand the frontiers of the sector and place Ghana at the forefront of the global telecommunications space. The Honorable Kofi Idi Adams, Minister for Sports and Recreation, I don't envy your job. You have the monumental task of restoring Ghana to its pride of place in African and world sports. The shambles that is Ghana sports today is completely unacceptable for a country with our pedigree, and I expect that you inject transparency, professionalism, and modernity into the management of the sector. I expect that you concentrate on building up all the sports disciplines, and I know the Ghana Football Association would be a good place to start, to work to make sure that we return Black Stars to its glory days. And finally, with Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikpe, Minister for Transport, you are charged with the task of building on past progress in the transport sector to guarantee swift movement of people and goods through a modernized rail, aviation, and marine transport. I have no doubt that all of you are poised to work tirelessly to improve the lot of Ghanaians in your respective sector based on your experience and your competence. I must, however, remind you of the same caution I sounded to your colleagues who have already taken office, that the hallmark of this government will be modesty and respect for the Ghanaian people. There will be no room for arrogance and pomposity in this government. The resources that you'll be working with belong to the Ghanaian people who put us in office. Those resources are not to be wasted on opulence and extravagance. I've asked the Chief of Staff to write to all government appointees that I've imposed a ban on non-essential travel forthwith to cut down expenditure. Any travel that is deemed essential and necessary must be cleared first with the Office of the Chief of Staff, and such travels will have to be undertaken in modesty. No first class. Also, all traces of affluence and lavish lifestyle are to be avoided. The people of Ghana are enduring difficult times occasioned by hardships resulting from the economic mismanagement of the last 8 years. And ours is to work to lift them out of this hole, not to compound it further. On Monday, I'll be receiving the report of the committee I set up to prepare the way for the implementation of Operation Recover All the Loot, oral. Upon receipt of this report, appropriate action will be taken against those who are deemed to have acted against the economic and financial interests of this country through corruption and related acts. While it is all well and good to hold past office holders accountable for their actions, it is even better to prevent the incidence of corruption in the first place. And as I've already indicated many times, I'll be holding all my appointees in this government to the strictest standards of accountability to ensure that the mandate and resources entrusted to us by the people of Ghana go only into working for them and improving their standards of living. Let me take this opportunity to remind you all that in the coming days, as promised in our 120-day plan, I'll be outdooring a code of conduct and standards for all government officials to guide the conduct of all our appointees. This will leave you in no doubt about what you can do and what you cannot do while serving in public office. You must make this code of conduct your guide and keep it like a Bible by your bedside before you take any action. I made a solemn pledge in our Resetting Ghana manifesto to lead by example and to serve with dedication, selflessness, and deep love for country. I intend to fully keep that pledge to the people of Ghana. And my biblical instruction. Therefore, as ye go forth into your new roles, remember once again that our ministry as a government is not to dispossess the people we govern of their dignity, their livelihoods and opportunities. Ours is rather a duty to reset our country and ensure the equitable distribution of the gains of progress and prosperity to all. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you.
Yo, abusia for mamunye na akwa eba COVTVGHANA so. Mesro say abawure ma na wa share video no na do commenting so aba. Na ye nyina no yetimi edi nkomo. We video a nra me de to platform no so. Ana na me pese yedi hu nkomo. Ghana nkomo na ye ba bedi. Enti no mesro said wa adwen kire bia no fabra. Na me ase adekronti a me this video we buy no ase enoma bi ye me nwanwa kakra ase omampani John Dramani Mahama yenim no a few years ago no ase ne nkasa ne ye bi esesa menim se eye krokro de John ana se eye inada bi no de beda da ye dia but yemfa partisan politics entonchen obi anfa ne party se montonchen na yenti message na eye ode eto honom no ene niema o se wabei oba abaye because sa boshe no ana ode share eye Ghana for tama omoye campaign no manifesto ana omode nam kika a eto Ghana for trima omode to aba no ema no wa bona adwen mu na kuma mu pose o mu sansem ne nyina so na obebo modern na wadi so enti we eye enra video abra eye ministers of state makuma ako 17 awapam o ma na afi ode omo efa ne se ode omo tudwa or inaugurate omo roma ne sa now sɛ wohwɛ nsɛm a ɔmampanyin John Dramani Mahama ɛboro so ɛwɔ hɔnom a me de me ho adwiri me because me expect bibi sei ɛfiri ne hɔnom de ntina me kasa enim no dada because wabada ɔmampanyin John Dramani Mahama ɛnyɛ ne first time obedi president nie waba bedi ɛyɛ ɔmampanyin pɛn yenim de ɔbɛyɛɛyɛ ana yenim kwan a Ghana fo fa so pamo no free ɛyɛ kurom a enyina ani tua enti no wasan ababiem the second time ni ameka ne saa ana ameka second term whichever way it is wasan ababiem enti yasa ma ne second ɛyɛ chance a wabai asa ne nsɛm keka ne dimi na bi ne na asa ne ye bi asa wasesa ana meboa odofo yɛn ka nokre wohwɛ ne kasa because tio all kasa ne me no tu no man kiti bi down mebobo bi so wa wohwɛ me ana wutie yɛn so nso betime de ode atodwa obetime de voice note afa WhatsApp number na ego screen ase no ene ye bo ne tia me ka me de awia na nso de ode atodwa na won so wa kyerɛ wa adwen mesrɛ obi ankyerɛ na adwen in a more professional way we nya atem didie entra me say yɛn fa partisan politics ento nkyɛn yɛn diagnose ɛyɛ asɛm na waka no yɛnwurawura asɛm num na yɛn hwɛ sɛ asɛm a wɔkan ɛyɛ asɛm a ɛbɛbɔ ɔman Ghana sɛ otimi edi so de a ɛno ntina ya hyɛ ase a yɛ play ne nneɛma bi ɛne ɛyɛ Ashanti Region Minister wabai wohwɛ anansen yɛtu ɛho asi hɔ ɛyɛ saa nneɛma no because ɛwɔ sɛ yɛtimi ɛma kom pɛpɛɛpɛ sɛ de bɛyɛ bibi kyia ne yɛbɛtena aka a wamɛka nkyerɛ sɛ yɛ opposition party members ne tete a enti ya hyɛ ase a yɛ kan mo ne mapa mo de tudwa yi because we yɛ normal mo de atudwa a omo nya nyɛ enwie yɛ enti no eba sɛ omo hyɛ implementation ase na sɛ enkoyi ne yɛ san bɛtena ha ne yɛ ka wa ma meka different story bi ankyerɛ yɛ ɛna meka sɛ eba sɛ yɛ ntwe ma wa ha enti ne yɛ hyɛ ase meka sɛ ɛyɛ ɔmampanyin dada na Nana Akufo-Addo tama ɔhyɛ ne year of rules na se ne ɛmfa ne yankotwa saa time no ne yɛde hyɛ yɛ trip na nationwide trip na se call almost all the regions kotwitwa kwan ɔmo yɛ project ahodo ɛkɔ so ne ayi afei duru baabi a yɛhu sɛ ɛnoɔma yɛ si wantan no ana yɛbɛtena afie ana yɛfa nɔma ne kakra ne yɛda gu no zu na yɛbɔ akyiri kakra ana motage ne mu pɛ bia aban foforo ahyɛ aseɛ ɛwe de ɛne ne hyɛ aseɛ si kinkin now let's be critical na yɛ analyze issue no yi ɔmampanyin John Dramani Mahama say ɔba no ɔhyɛ Ghana fo bɔ na bɔhyɛ ne nyinaa ne sɛ ɔba ɔbɛ reset Ghana ɛnoma bi a ɛkɔ so a ɛnyɛ ama ɔman no yɛte so yɛdi apinisie yɛbrɛ ahokyerɛ a mpuntuo ɛde mpuntuo yɛnkɔ yɛnim no ɔba no abayi saa nkonnwa no nyinaa de afiri so enti no ɔbɛ reset bibia na wahyɛ aseɛ ɔde ahyɛ aseɛ from the scratch now ɔba yi ɔka sɛ ɛyɛ ne ministers ɔbɛfa 60 tama na ɔbɔ aprɔbɔ na ɔka aka no ampa nso ogyina ha a ɔka sɛ mahu sɛ ɔde atodwa pɛpɛɛpɛ sɛ ne ministers ɛmuru 60 because nim sɛ aban dada na etwa mu no na ministers no boro 100 enti no sɛ we nuru 60 am sɛ 110 o sɛ deɛ sɛ nuru 60 deɛ a then I think sɛ ɛbɛboa ama yɛ ho aheha yɛn kakra enti hɔnom no wate size ne so now ɔsan ka sɛ ɔmo ba no ɔmo ka kyerɛ Ghana fo ɛma yɛte asɛ sɛ ɔman ni mu ayɛ den ɛnoma nkɔ yi enti no government officials nyinaa ɛba ne nyinaa no obiara me live ɛyɛ modest life obiara me sonson ne ho obiara me no so yɛ wiemfoɔ ɛmo obiara me no ho sɛ obe live some lifestyle bi a eba be ma Ghana fo abehunu se saa mo so saa na mote enap saa kwan nti no or the code of conduct eba government official bia obehunu e wo so wo ye ene de ni kwan se wo ye. I think say ade a even nanom ye vet nyina no na me hu say ya mo obi attender obi a declare ni assets ni no ma nyina dada ene a ombrɛ na o ma san hwɛ no ma monitor bibia say ade a ekɔ sui saa na eba ba de a me gidi say na ye Ghana ana meboa osan say wate or the initiative viaba Operation Recover All Loot. Our maternity ora. Enti aban sika, aban japade, aban bia wafa koti kwan bi so amana bedi ho. That committee omo na machiri ehwehwem sensase, sekas, sisika bibia japade bia omo hwehwe omo de report no ebebre no. Na ya hand over de ama chief justice no ne na pamfo omo de afambra kwan so. I think said de bia no aya na yetaka sa asem we say me kai tama how do you call it omampanyi na na dan kwakufuado omampanyi dada na na kwakufuado oba no na we lawyer ntine nim say oba sata me ka wayomi ne ho amu ne nim so mbadi dem enso no me nim say mra no so ye different. Ntenumpo de eja na ho no asem de bia me ka se ho asem de na chede hia me but I say omampanyin abai ono nso afa different approach towards the same year ebebre corruption ase and I think say ebeboa ama sika bia rewura ba bia ni kwa se rewura bia no yetimi enya bi na omo e wo se de mo famra kwan so no nso no emra ne omo nso edi osaka biem say government official bia appointee bia se wu tu kwan a na non essential ehun hye dan hia saa onko ba bia nempo omuhu se bibi saa age se okọ chief of staff wono na okoje clearance okono clear bibia so ade ba de wa hwe bibia e correct e kwan da wanim ni a clear na wo sen ansa na watimi atu saa kwan no empo o paase na onya permit na permission ni sa wo de kwa enumpo no untimi fa first class enti government officials ni nyina enhye ne nso. I think say enuema omampanyin John Dramani Mahama ebobosu me de na kakra me hu adwiri me mo because me expect bi say free papa ho say de Ghana for pa yesi bo papa yachi oba nyina yenim say ayeka but o hwa asa opese o surprise bi say chese wa ma ye obia ye chese odwun wa wonte ase na me de ne America ne say Ghana first me fa woni be bia a wa hwe me ugina but be bia ugina ne mo Ghana e wo so san wa adwene yes na ni obeboa ma oman na ko kan no yeni nachi den so ye den a obi aba a oyebi ntini obi ani ho a obedi omampanyin a onye hwe obi aba a oyebi na emom eduru mra a otum se nipa na adwuma na si ne ekọ ne ekọbọne a ne eja ne kwan tete nti omampanyin abaya a ono so ahya ase kama ya ode ne nsem tutu dua o kan kan se ohya ase na bibi ekoyi a why not so de kwa we ye pa so be it ye to aso oduru ba bi na osesa na obese ye ne saa na be kwakotu asan tia no sai na wo se Ghana for ye te amamu na se ba me de nhihye papa yi di be na mpese di ho nkomo ne because wasate committee a ebehwe your constitution no ma yen sesa sakra bebre wu ma eno nso ebebo oman no. In fact enema bi a na yetetiti akira mbeka ye to da kra ya hwefo ne empanifo bi mo de tudwa say ade a edi oman ni nya pa ye constitution no tino mo ye ho review ahwe ebia na saa sensem ni nyina no ebia timi apop up no ma yen sa kira wo atisa nka beboa amoman no afa ne ntoma pa afra enti no ye WhatsApp line no ana egu eye screen ase no mesre se obi amebo no homoden na ode na adwenkyere aba now me comment section honom live chat honom Ebenezer Atiemo also so all of a sudden you have shifted from criticizing government to praising them. As soon as power change Ghana there is no genuine person. Kofi Poku on the so retracted. Anna Owusu Foster, he has learned a lot from his mistakes and he's trying to fix all of them. Yes, I think say we no na eye asema mesum because Omanpanyi JM anase John Mahama a menim ne de ana Ghana for pa se de tu ya no gu papa esu yi ase se de ye kan wasua no ma bi a oye na wasan asesa oba de a I think say that's the way to go ebeboa into hwe comment ne di kan na e na me di kan aka no ohun say obebre wo sa adwene no say ye criticize aban na otwa mu no we aba no a ye praising no nti Ghana de genuine person anyhow we asem we genuine be na asem no ye waase anase ni ha me say sama am ye nya say suban we a ye nko ba bia o ye nko ba bia ye nko ba bia me na me ka tro ye nko ba bia because sa suban na I say sanye me party na enya sanye me party ana eye de a enye say me party na eye de a eye say nyu say you ni nyina aye ya nya say suban na o man ye nko ba bia ehu nya mpusa nke beba betena aka bibia obi afa ne party ni your party ba bia aye na yen kan anu ntu no obi a yen namu sa ma obi an complain ba yen platform we so no enye sa nkomo na ye di wa ha enti no ye kan asem na obetimi a kire wa adwen ba me kan kire yen say yenye genuine people. All right mame enhwe obetimi de wa yin so afa WhatsApp line no so na ode aba because nkomo na ye di no ehia me we I say 24-hour economy is expected in my district. Oh, okay. Eye Kofi Poku. Yenhwe ade because in some opinion kan dem ho adwiri trust me. Say yes apa na tie de a ene me na ada o. Ene me na ada o. Say yes apa na tie de a ebe shock me. Ananka ebe ma sa ampa wasua de. Yes, wasua de okotena akire 8 years no wasua bibi ehun se da bi aban na obae no oye positive things bi ma memfa sa positive things no na ne negative things no mentungu na memfa nka me de no ho na menhwe ha wa no ma besi akọ eno na mehu se oye no my entie o ma menkan we say I believe JM has learned from his mistakes and will perform better. His only problem is that if he becomes too strict, his party people will turn against him. When so eye adwenkyera opanyi ba konso e de aba e free London opanyi Kwame. All right. Mame enhwe obetimi the voice note enso e de aba na me play ni nyina amayati. So ma panyini asesa mame fam enfa krom kakra yenhwe airport airport ayensi ni form mo me yenhwe kakra na yeni yenkomo no em se nyina ye hu nkomo aye di ntino ya ma memetesro no na ye nhwe ye nante prempe the first wakakra na ade mu ese yete wono na ye ni enkomo kakra ntorofo asem a omampanyini ka ne su ne ban a oda na di na wo hwe eye ne ministers yi wo de hwe Ashanti regional minister ekura for instance hwe na ho keka ne niema a wahya ase a oye kire wo se ndaso ewo honom na ya yete ya ye ka ne nei ekina ye ba no masesa na ye ba betena ha ka the same thing nti won su ne obehu bia no fabra on board na ye nyina pese ekekere oman a ye nyina daachi bia no ebeboa yen na ne ye hwehwe se oman Ghana so betimi aye tese de amanfo nkrunkru so aye no ye nso ebenya bi wa ha nti no me de I believe strongly say so obi obeba bia oba na se na koma no de oman na chi nko ade a emama ye nsi ni fom nta na America no yenyi tribalism ne sa ne manema na partisan politics ne sa religious affiliation no yenyi sa no mani nyina nwu nchen na mpanifo yemfa Ghana nsi wo no yenyi na Ghana fo na yen hwɛ so obetimi aya na yen support no o yen so na anko ya na ye hu kwan de ne befa so titititititia we nye kasa tenten mame enko eye amenkọ voice note ọnụ na menche kora asem no na ano ohye ma me pa nti na wo se me de ba na mpanifo mo so mo kan bi because JM de radi ampanyi Mahama de ne obi anim se o oba 4 years obe diska no dwane akọ ade obe tende ka waboka obe tekare no akọ nti ne yenhwe how it will go. Yes, I did. Obe shock will be Ghana. I say, yeah, obe shock will be okay. I'm so opinion I be or the voice note to be about yenti voice note no na yento aso.
No, can I tell you, I thought Jim got cry from Kwame, London now. Now, me who say, be a jail and watch a jika or learning from mistakes. Early to judge him. Yeah. A do baby, if it's all too straight, the party for no besoretiano, because one desperate for money. It is one good name, we know trust or best stress, they will turn against him. And then that's why I'll be Johnny Guma Mobia, yeah, because I send you excuse me to say. And it's too early to judge him. He's trying to be straight, which is okay, but it's too early. Let's see how it goes. And the other thing is aura also, I think it's more created to just to distract the foot soldiers now attention from the actual business facing the country. There's a lot for them to do, which I think they have a huge task ahead of them. But it looks like he's determined. But let's see how it goes. All right, thanks, Gemma. Bye.
All right. Enti we so ye eye opinion kese ba ko no so UK ana ode eye na dwenkyere de abai na no kra de aba akopɛ wo hwɛ omampanyini niema a oye na ne nsɛm ɔkeka na ɛna na America no ebia na wasesa de I mean later ọbẹ yẹ no ho different story akyerɛ yɛ deɛ but sɛ ne ɔka yi a na ɔba abɛyɛ deɛ a I think sɛ anidasoɔ wɔ mu anidasoɔ wɔ mu na ada anidasoɔ wɔ mu paa sɛ nyɛ sɛ ebi a adanko daadaadoro bi na ɔbɛyɛ deɛ a ɛneɛ I think sɛ wayɛ adeɛ na wasesa nso ampa yes wasesa we every Kofi Poku say it's too early to judge and saying it's easier than done. Okay, all right. Ononso na adwen che no. Na stila no. Omampanyini Mahama de o ne ni obetimi ayenti. Ebi mo enche da enyini ni sa. Ha, but whichever way it is bia no. Ye de yakofa aba mo betimi akyere mo adwen e wo ho no. Ana we say nso say Voice, play voice.
Good evening, Kwame and Chairman. Mr. Media Hamene, Ashanti Minister, Okas or Magalam for 2 weeks. Mentiasia because it's illegal galamsey. It is illegal. I didn't know 2 weeks. The 2 weeks in the door so possible galamsey 2 weeks. Excavate a bit my 2 weeks. Now go into 2 weeks in the corner Honanka or when any ya or mom free because I didn't say already. I say illegal. I quite a confusion why the national chairman every idea and every answer walk on. And men and admins are quite a mushy among drawn attention now. On money and tentem now on palm galamsey for free because the word illegal and your bum there or more 0 minute cry right because illegal. That's
Yo, COVTV, Secret Movement. Mamunya jo abusuafo. Eche obi a yemunia so say na ka say from Holland. Say program yi amoye. Ene de from kokra ene da yati se obi akasa obi akapi e wo parliament ho. Ne nyina nkomra na wiase se wantimi anwene a wankase wantimi anwene a obi badwena ma wo fi se yenye yehu ne ye kasa ahu nti na mre bia na abrofo no na adwene ma ye no cause ye je hu ni na senki itima ye ne saa ade bia no o kasa mu usua o kasa ade twere ne ya twere da hodomo bibie ne wonum se ye kasa machine bia no wede to anum diagram bia no wede to anum a wontimi everyday na wonti ase enye saa na abrofo germanfo bia ne kasa na ye na dwuma ntino saa ke kwode saa de ake da ase misremu ade we se so mo hye nso pa na me de mahwa che na mo me nyina hye nso on se eman yi da ho no mu ba interchange ye mu yi akwari mfimfi akwari double road mfimfi nyina ende roundabout yi so ensensan ya due nyina opesi ade nyina na ahye.
Yeah.
So Dubai, oko Dubai ya bia omukura omu ni nsuo no. Bia no omu green.
Yeah, I think say enra video no na opani comment ho. Video na ye call asokwa interchange I think so. All right, internal at least you take a cry. You fancy I see na you focus on and topic no. Na yema accommodate no anye kama. Tiabusianfo nsema omampanyi John Dramani Mahama ene napamfo edenam ne de ano ohye na omasan atum ho asi wo se bohye mo de ahye Ghana fo no chinchina atwam bedi so no eno ana ema managie ya ena ema managie pa enti no I think say yenhwe how things will go na yenyina nso yen keep your fingers crossed na me san kan bi so your mamba pa emfa ho ne party awo ade na ikoyi a accept ne boni pa na baso enkoyi a na won nso wammia wani na waka ne se de sitie enyina fa akonsa anche ade ne nye kra de chinchina atwan obe defend eye nso a chese nya party nti wadwa eba ne sa de emoa misrew eba ne sa na now the emotions nenam by any very objective madaroma okay interbusianfo I think say me de mo besia we de me betwa ne taw e wa ha ya na nyame ya adoma o chena nso ye be san ba na ya ba be som e wo kwan sonko so ntino mo hwe mo nso ye se de anya ahya ase sia na be kọ na asem bia ba be efiri bia no ye be de ho nkomo bi na nso do adwen kire e de aba enti
Welcome to my 5 hotel. We are based in Kronoma Franchu. If you want to come here, and you are from Swami Chronom coming. We have nice security posts, a very, very conducive environment that you feel free, comfortable. Everything here is very, very conducive, nicely. The air, the atmosphere, best. We have the bar, we have the restaurant, the pergola, everything here is nice. We have the standby the generator, we have a vehicle that picks up from the airport. Everything is here is very good, nicely. We have the reception that works 24 hours. Everything is here 24 hours, perfectly.
Yes, Simon Mwakwa Basronko di ba COVTVGHANA so. Wo COVTVGHANA so no. Ye bota ye ni yenju mediate tiripa ne se. Ye beboa ma mpuntu nyuma akwaso ye wano wo Ghana ha se. Ne se nti no. Ye free wo pepa mutu ye hugu montene so kokotwa mpuntu nyuma ahodo a. Ye koso wo Ghana ha bebia. Se ye akwan foforo na aban no ye. Hospitals, airport, interchange, school, market, stadium ne ni ai keka ho nyina. Ye ni yenti mwanwaso wo kokotwa se ne dwumade ni sifa ko. Na afei so akwan ne miai wodo a atete apansam so no ye kotwa se ne ebe ya ebetwe aban no agenesi so na wakwakwa ye wonom e wo hɔ ne nso mmoa dwumadie foforo a ye san di no wo COVTVGHANA so ne say ye interview Ghana fo e wa abrochi ananse wo man yi mu a watumi adi yi atu mpon wa abrabo na watumi akyerɛkyerɛ ye nkwampa wodo a ye nso ye betumi afaso anya sika ne de ahya business ase enti mema wo remfi say wo be subscribe to ye YouTube channel ye COVTVGHANA na we mia notification bell ne so se ne ebe ya wo messy yen videos a ye drop